Hello friends, are you struggling with your PTE speaking module and want to get a full 90? If yes, then this is exactly the video you are looking for. In this video, I'm going to share you the tips and tricks to get a full 90 in your PTE speaking module. So stay tuned. So guys, let's set the tone and go through this. So as you know, the PTE speaking module will be your first module, and the first section which you will attempt is read aloud. The read aloud section will consist of 6 to 7 questions, and that will contribute to both your speaking and your reading module. So this is very important. So note down the tips. The tip number 1 is that you should utilize the 35 seconds which you are getting before the recording starts. That means when the sentence is displayed in front of you and you are given a 35 seconds time to go through the entire content, you should not just go through it in your mind. You should also speak it so that if there is any mistake, then you can rectify it the next time you speak after 35 seconds. So once the 35 seconds are over and your recording has started, then you have to speak in a very normal tone. You cannot rush and you can't be very much slow. Also, you should avoid the intonations. You should not stretch the words. You should speak the word as it is. You should not go high or low and just maintain a moderate pace. You should also give special emphasis on S and ED. What that means, if there is an S after a word or an ED after a word, then you should clearly spell the word S and ED at the end of the word. For example, if there is something called becomes, you should say becomes. You should not say become. Similarly, if you read something like focused with the D at the end, you should not say focus, you should say focused. Another tip is that you should immediately click the next button once you are done. Because if you wait for your session to get completed automatically, then what will happen? The pause will be recorded by your computer, and the computer might think that you have missed out on something or you are not speaking towards the end of your speech, which can deduct your marks. So immediately once you are done with your speaking for each and every question, you click on the next button and don't wait for the autocomplete. The next module is the repeat sentence module, which is very important because it will again contribute to your speaking as well as your listening. So that will have 6 to 17 words, and sometimes what happens, when we get large number of words, then we miss out on few words. But there is a trick here as well. You need to understand what the computer wants from you. So the computer will give you marks based on your fluency, your pronunciation, and your content. So even if you miss out on the content part a little bit, say you are just saying 5 to 6 words, then also you will get full marks and you can get a full 90. This has been tried and tested by me. So even if you don't remember all the words, it doesn't matter. There should be a fluency in what you are speaking and the content should be clear. For example, if you get a sentence like the soldiers were rewarded by both the organization internationally, then you can also say that the soldiers were rewarded internationally. You will still get the full marks. There is another section called answer short questions, which is the last section of your speaking module. In this section, you may be asked 9 to 11 questions and you have to be very careful with your answer. So if you don't know the answer of a particular question, you can repeat few words from the question itself. For example, if the question is what is the size of this earth, and you don't know the answer, you can simply answer size of earth, and that will also give you full marks. But friends, don't keep quiet. You should say something. If you keep quiet, then your attempt will not be counted and you will lose out on marks in your speaking module. Next is the describe image section, where you need to describe an image. There is a template. You can speak out whatever you are seeing. The content matters, the pronunciation matters, and the fluency matters. Even if you are not speaking out the entire picture, you can just focus on few of the items you are seeing and you can speak about those items. It hardly matters, but you should always maintain a constant pace and your pronunciation should be clear. So if you are seeing a graph in your image, you can say that the image is very informative. The items include XYZ. The items include the name of this country. In short, the image was informative. So that will give you full marks. Next comes the retell lecture that will contribute 10 to 15 marks in both your speaking and listening module. So the trick here is when you are writing down the words from the lecture you are listening to, you should do one thing at a time. That means when you are writing, focus on writing, don't listen to anything. And when you are listening, just focus on listening and don't write anything. So whatever you are writing, even if it's not the full content, even if you are missing out on few lines, you can tell clearly whatever you have written in a fluent way and you will get the full marks. Sometimes a lot of people make the mistake that they don't write it clearly. So when they're trying to speak out, then they don't understand what they have written. So whatever you are writing, write at a time and write it in a clear way so that when you are reading out, you should be clear and you should not have any doubts. So guys, these were my suggestions. I hope you have a splendid PTE exam. Please let me know if this video was informative to you. Take care and all the very best.